Coming up on Talk is Cheap, we found Tinkerbell and Peter Pan is pissed. All that, come on up next. Welcome to Talk is Cheap, where cheap is talk and talk is cheap. Today, I am going to be covering something not as cool as the last two episodes, in my opinion, but because Dano here did a great job 2 episodes ago. How are you today, Dan?
I'm pretty good. It's pretty crazy. I'm living in a different parallel universe.
Yeah, so now I'm driving around looking at shit thinking, is that the way it was when I was younger?
That gets you thinking.
Yeah,
Nothing matters.
I'm waiting to go home and have a different family living there, some shit, you know.
And again, with me all the way to my left is...
Pete Halbleib. Welcome.
I didn't call him Peter.
No.
Like you mess up my name.
Yep. Dustin, I'm sorry. Dusty.
All right, like I said, I don't think my co-host here, they did a great job last 2 episodes, and I actually feel like I'm not really bringing anything to the table this week. But I have. This was on Facebook. I can't remember who posted it and notified me of it. But I want to thank everybody out there on all the groups that I'm part of for showing me things like this. This just, for me, I just noticed this, and I have looked at this this fairy idea a while back, actually, and I thought, well, what a bunch of shit. You know, I ain't going to pay attention to it. But this guy, he says this fairy is actually real. So kind of got me really interested. These researchers performed an X-ray and lab tests on this mystery creature, including DNA sampling, in which case they found it doesn't, the DNA doesn't match up to anything particularly, but it is like 98% human. So it's interesting. Let's go through this. Richard Shaw and L.A. Marzulli traveled to Mexico. They met with one of the most prominent lithium UFO researchers, and once they met Mr. Muzan, James Muzan, he revealed to them the mind-blowing creature that oddly resembles a fairy. Now, as we can tell by the picture here, and we can watch this video, I'm sure we'll probably have to edit it in some way, but it's got arms, it's got wings coming off the backside of it. It's a little scary-looking little feller. And he's got legs, of course, down here. I think they had a better picture. But anyway, so they call this the so-called fairy. And I'm going to get to the point where I kind of get a little frustrated. But
And they did test this.
yes, this is what I'm looking for. While many believe this is just another hoax presented by the internet, X-ray scans and DNA results show a staggering truth behind a mystery creature that could very well be a so-called fairy. So researcher Richard Rangel, PhD, who performed the DNA testing on this mysterious this creature, said that the DNA, the common results show that the DNA is very similar to the DNA of a human with a staggering 98.5%. So 98.5% of this creature is human DNA. The legs and feet are of a normal creature. However, the other creature has this feature, the wings. So everything kind of looks humanoid, but the wings, of course. And he says, no, it's not a hoax. It was not made from a mold. We have a sample of the tissue from the creature. We sent a DNA molecular laboratory. But when the laboratory tried sequencing the DNA, of course, they found that it was not in accordance with DNA from the mammals and other creature. There was no match. So this is a one of a kind. It's they did this. I can't say the word
Mitochondrial.
Thank you, mitochondrial DNA and a nuclear DNA. So this is a brand new species, apparently, if it's real. They did x-rays on this, too. Where is that? There it is. There's the x-ray. This is pretty interesting. So it does have a skeletal structure. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Sure.
Yeah, I hope. So it's really hard to, this isn't a mold. This isn't something that, you can just whip together in a way quickly. You can actually see all the little vertebrae, the hip, the knee joints, the fairies.
What's that coming down off his butt? Is that a tail?
That might be a tail. I never.
Was that in the other picture?
I didn't. Yep.
Oh, sure. It is
Right there. Now, see, when I was younger, I was really into dragons. I mean, as young kids, you kind of like dragons or space or whatever. And I love dragons. And I was actually crushed when I got a little bit older and I realized that there was no way that there could be a dragon because the dragons that I looked at had 4 legs and then the wings. Yeah. And there's no animal that has 4 legs and a wing, I believe. And at least that's what I remember growing up being told. So the idea that the dragons actually were around is impossible. So here we have that 4 legs, well, 2 legs, 2 arms, but 4 appendages, and the 2 wings in the back, which is, I don't think there's anything in nature that has.
No, I'm trying to think of it. Yeah, of anything that I could think
That's
of.
why I couldn't believe the dragon.
Insects, I suppose, could maybe qualify.
Yeah, but nothing in the human order of the lizard
mammal,
type of,
and mammals or anything
yeah,
like that.
no mammals.
Yeah, or animal outside of the insects, right? Yeah.
Now, of course, this article, and this is the best one I could find. This is where we kind of get into that point where people start getting skeptical, and then I get a little upset about this next point, but not this point, but the next one after this. Of course, he quotes the Bible from this. So Revelation 9, and he quotes what is that when you read out of the Bible? It's
Scripture.
Scripture?
Yep.
Okay.
Bible verse or whatever.
The verse, that's what I was looking for, yeah. Then out of the smoke locusts came upon the earth, and to them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. They were commanded not to harm the grass of the earth or any green thing or any tree, but only those men who did not have the seal of God on their foreheads. And they were not given authority to kill them, but to torment them for 5 months. So that's what he's saying, that this could be that type of creature. So
it's just a pest that's going to pester you?
Yeah, Well, the funny thing is, I did a lot. I used to. I was kind of got into this fairy tale ideology, like leprechauns. This is why I got into it. Excuse me. This is why I got into the whole idea of leprechauns. I grew up, in an Irish family, and talked about leprechauns and whatnot. Well, then I started doing some research on the old stories where these fairy tales actually come from. These leprechauns weren't just sitting around like Lucky Charms with a pot of gold. I mean, they were really not very kind. And it's really interesting. Like cherubs in the Bible, they're presented this little baby with wings, and they have ribbons on all these Renaissance pictures and whatnot. But the cherubs actually, if you look at it and do the research, they're actually kind of like evil, mean angels, I guess.
Kind of like how we made Santa Claus into this nice little thing. And
it's really true. So I started doing this research,
Krampus,
and the fairies, these fairies weren't nice. I mean, that's why you don't ever walk. If you see a circle of
the fairy
trees
ring or whatever, right?
Fairy rings, you don't ever walk across them. You don't.
Yeah, you're not supposed to enter them. Yeah.
You'll get bad luck.
That's
these things
weird,
come and terrorize you.
Where did that come
a lot
from?
of these things are these older fairy tales that a lot of people don't know. These things would come into your house, and we were just talking about the parallel universes, and we were talking about socks being missing in your dryer. Like, that's the things that these guys would do. They were kind of like the kind of people that, like the Borrowers movie. It's kind of based on this older fairy tale, apparently, where these borrowers would come in and they'd steal your stuff, and then they would use it, but that's how you miss your keys or your socks, or and that's kind of where this comes from. And so this is like the first ever, really physical evidence of these types of creatures.
This is pretty interesting because I instantly think, oh, whatever, hoax, right? Because my construct right now, even as open-minded as I am, I try to I try not to be so open-minded my brains fall out, right? Yeah. But
this is really plausible.
Yeah, this is something that I would have, before we talked, I would have been like, yeah, whatever. But this is pretty compelling. And then, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking of this, and I forget what it's called, that Aztec alien. We had done a show on that many moons ago, of this miniature creature, mummified, found in like Central or South America. And I mean, this is right in the wheelhouse of this. So is there a group, a society, a species of little people that originated there, and this is just one of the products, and so it's really cool. So
that's what it kind of reminded me of immediately when I saw it.
Now, the only thing that I kind of get a little frustrated with is this guy. I wonder if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. They're selling a DVD and book. This is what kind of puts a kink in the whole idea for me. He says there's some folk who complain that we're only in it for the money. How many of these people walk into Starbucks and expect a free cup of coffee? Why is it then that we can't make a living from our work? How much do you think it costs to fly to Mexico? DNA samples, X-rays, blah blah blah. Nothing's free. So they're actually selling. They're actually selling like the book and the proof. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I like that much.
Well, one of the things that pisses me off about these so-called skeptics that are just really closed-minded people that don't want to just actually entertain any new thoughts is that as soon as somebody's trying to make money or sets up a GoFund page for their research, They're trying to get money, so that makes everything that they're doing made up or false or hoaxed.
Exactly.
You know, and now whether or not this guy is going about it the right way, totally understand, man. You know, it's fun to do it as a hobby, but if you're laying out thousands of dollars for these tests and these trips and stuff, you know, I'd buy the book.
I think it depends on the price, because like even like Stephen Greer, he takes people out under the stars to bring in UFOs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was more reasonable, I think he charges like $1,000 to do it. It's like ridiculous. But if it was more like less than that, maybe $100, then I could say, okay, great,
Yep.
you know. But he
Well,
overcharges.
It's just like the BFRO, Bigfoot Field Research Organization. I think it's like $300-400 a head. They'll come out and call in the Sasquatch, go Sasquatch hunting with you, and it's like, come on, you know, it's your buddy, you know, your buddy out there on the dressed in a gorilla suit or whatever. However, I can't imagine a DVD and a book being like that. Do we have a price on this, Dusty?
I couldn't find one. Sorry, I didn't know I had my alarm set. Apparently, I'm supposed to be up.
Well, good job. You're up early.
Woo! I couldn't find one, and like I said, I just actually came across this the other day, and I didn't find a link when I was doing a little extra research. Like I said, this is the best article that I found. I'm interested because there's another feller. I didn't bring that up. There's another guy in England, and he actually has hundreds of these fairies, so-called fairies.
Yep.
This
isn't the first one that has been trotted out.
No, this is one of those that he says that part of his collection is fake, but then he says there's actual real things. And of course, I did some research on this, and I'm looking up fairies, and there's videos on YouTube where these people say they've caught fairies and everything else. Now, some of them, I'm sorry to say, are night vision cameras, and then you get the moth flying by, and you're like,
sure.
oh, it's a fairy. I'm like, yeah, it's a moth, bro.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Or what are they called? Rods. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
the fly
it's hard.
shutter.
It's really hard to go ahead and say yay or nay on any of these. This isn't the first one. Like I said, there's people that say they have these mummified bodies or they caught them. There's videos all over the internet you can look up where they have them out there. Some of them are so damn fake though. It's so annoying. I mean, if you're gonna make a fake video, you gotta understand if you're passionate about it, you just went ahead and you made everybody that could be a believer a little bit more skeptical every time you do.
Well, and that's how a lot of folks that are trying to suppress this information, they come out and for every one real video, they put 500 fake hoaxes out there so that you can't. And then when you do come across a real one, it's like, oh no, it's just fake because everyone else is. Very similar in the Sasquatch phenomena arena, the same sort of thing.
I just wanted to comment on Yami Musan. That guy's like, I don't know if you guys ever looked into his work. He's pretty big in the UFO community. He's from Mexico, so.
I was just gonna say, I thought I knew his name somewhere. Do you guys want to watch that video?
Yeah,
because one thing, I don't know if you covered it or maybe I just missed it. Where did they find this damn thing?
Oh, they're in Mexico now.
Yeah, but how did they come across it?
I don't remember. Did I read it up here?
Well, maybe they'll say it in the video. Right?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's some super detail in it if it's a hoax. You can almost see the blood vessels, right? The dried blood vessels. Do we know anything about this Ricardo Rangel guy?
No, I don't think I've ever heard of him before.
It'd be interesting to see what kind of credibility he has.
But he's got a PhD.
That's awesome.
How do you... You're having too much fun with this. God damn it.
New features here, folks.
How do we get to play it? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I've done some research on the fairy thing. Like I said, even the guy that has 100 of these things throughout his house says that some of them are fake. I knew I was going to start. That's why I was trying to stop.
Oh, shit.
But Mr. Playful over there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Uh-oh.
That's my next week's.
Yep, sorry.
No, and the thing of it is with these types of things is you got to always take, I mean, at least I take a lot of this stuff with a grain of salt and I try to say, whether or not. But the one thing that got me, and I don't know, maybe someone out there can explain it to me, but it says the DNA sequence was made from 5 different molecular biological laboratories in several parts of the world. What do they mean by made? Does that not make any sense?
Unless they each sequence different parts of it and they put it together, or yeah, that's interesting. Could be a bad choice of words, poor choice of words.
You can put it in the video, so it's in the video. It's written here, and I don't understand what they mean by made. Now, tested would make more sense. The DNA sequence was tested from 5 different molecular biological laboratories.
They don't want to admit that it. Yeah, you're right. They should have said tested.
I don't understand.
They don't want to admit that it's real.
But I'm not a molecularist, whatever they call it. So I mean, maybe someone out there can I explain that to me?
Molecularologist, maybe.
What are they
DNAist?
called? Yeah,
I really don't know. So that kind of made me kind of wonder like what the hell is going on. And they said made like 100 times. They say it's not a hoax, it's real. But then why would you have to make something if it's real? The guy wants to go ahead and sell you the video and whatnot. And I can understand what you're saying. They should make money on it. But if you have something that's groundbreaking, like if you want it, you're going to make money on it no matter what. That's what pisses me off. If you have the Sasquatch and you come out and say, you know what, I have a Sasquatch and I'll sell you a video of it, you're going to be just as famous and just as rich as if you show people. That
Just, yeah, give it to the newspapers,
One
right?
thing I want to point out here, I mean, could you imagine sleeping on this? That would hurt.
The bone.
You would have to lower. No, this is the tail.
Oh, the tail down there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he hangs from like a bat does. I don't know.
Yeah, that's possible.
Maybe they don't sleep. They're evil looking.
Or we don't know if he's got control of that tail. He tucks it up and in or whatever,
He's a tucker.
He's a tucker, yes.
He's got sharp teeth. Can I hit the thing? Where's that at? Oh, now we got the circle still. Look at the... Oh, wait. Maybe I can do this just right. Wait, stop. I got this. Right there. But no, I mean, look at the teeth and everything else. I mean, this is a predator, you would think, of some sort,
Look at how long the forearm is compared to the upper arm.
And
too.
what's interesting is the tail. I'm glad you guys brought it up. Tails for like a cheetah and animals is for stability, to keep them running straight or whatnot. So if something was flying, bird...
The tail helps.
Tail helps. So if this was some kind of a hoax, they put a lot of thought into it, too. Not to mention, like you said, the wings, I mean, when you saw it, they're hugely detailed.
Yes.
I mean, I'm a collector of all these action figures and whatnot, and I got to be honest, they put some great detail in some of the statues. So...
What are the nougats?
I don't know what those are. Maybe
There's like one in his arm.
point of reference.
Alien implants?
No, because look it up here. I think it's just like the bone density, or your brain's brighter. What causes a brain to be brighter in X-ray? Is it just the way the material?
I don't know. Yeah.
No,
Any
one
X-ray people out there?
one
Yeah.
hand has one and the other hand doesn't.
Well, I suppose an X-ray has to go
And he's
through
holding
everything.
something,
So
because his arm's like left arm is like got something in his hand.
Which one? Where this?
Yeah, that thing hanging down. Like,
This?
What is that? Like right below it there.
that's
The
his
other one.
hand.
Yeah, that's
There's this deformed hand, yeah.
Why is it so much bigger than the other
the
one?
one's like this.
One might be-
and one's like this.
One might be missing.
Oh.
I mean,
This is
of
basically
course-
probably in the same spot, really. I know this looks a little bit longer than this.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Must be broke, though.
Does this show the feet on it? You want to scroll down for me? Oh, I'm sorry. We give something to Pete.
I know, right? I was going to put some thought bubbles in there. and then have our viewers, put in a caption.
I like that. So of course you have the legs, and they said those were remarkably close to a human's legs, and yeah, I guess so. I can see the legs.
That's a female.
What can you tell?
Yeah.
It says on that text on the left there, sex F.
Hole.
Well, I guess it doesn't have a wiener, so. I don't know, guys. What do you think?
I think it's real.
do your thought bubble. I know you're just dying
I
inside.
totally
Don't.
do a thought bubble.
Yeah, I'd say with the X-ray, it's probably real. They look at all the bones.
I mean, that's really hard, like especially
Unless you fake the X-ray too.
Yeah.
Well, they could make fake bones and put a thing around.
Look at the rib cage; they're so small.
I mean, somebody put a lot of time into hoaxing it. Here we go.
Yo. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments below.
Interesting.
And then tell us what
Interesting.
we should put in
Interesting.
the damn thought bubble, because apparently that's a thing now. I don't know. I mean, tell me seriously. I'm kind of on. I don't want to believe because it just doesn't make any damn sense, and I think it's all kind of a money-making scheme.
No, I believe this one's real, and I believe that one we did a few many moons ago with one in Chile was real.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And maybe it is. So let us know in the comments what you think. If you come across any more information, throw the links up in the comments too. I'd like to go ahead and do a little bit more research on this. If you appreciate Pete's handiwork, he can come over to your house for a small fee, and he can paint up your damn.
I made him into a cowboy.
God. Anyway, I think we're out of time, so I want to thank you very much for tuning in and enjoying enjoying his artwork. And
No, Dusty, I do want to say that I think you're a little hard on yourself. This was an interesting topic, buddy.
I don't know. I like
It
your guys'
was.
better.
Very good.
All right, I took a drink. I'm ready to go. Have a nice day. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, follow, or all that good stuff. Comments are especially. I love comments.
Comments are great, yeah.
I really do, especially when you guys tell us, when you find something. So, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, evening, weekend, whatever it happens to be when you're watching this. And stay cool, bro.
Ready, set, go.
Wait, I gotta itch my nose. All right, ready?
We're coking.
Yeah, I was doing some lines.
You get a bump before I did the show.
What's that mean?
What do you mean a peanut butter pan alert? What does he say? What the hell do you mean a peanut butter pan alert? It was a Tourette's guy?
Oh,
What the hell do you mean a peanut butter alert?
Is he faking this?